guys, it's Hannah, and today I am doing another tag. Today I am doing the mid-year freakout book tag. Yes, I know it's August already, so it's technically not the middle of the year anymore, but it's close enough. And I was actually tagged to do this, so you can't complain about it not being the middle of the year because I was actually tagged to do a tag. I was tagged by, I'm gonna assume it's pronounced Calista? Is that how you say your name? Tell me how to pronounce it down below because sorry, but I don't know. But she is from Geeky Kiki 44. She's a really cute channel. She's new to BookTube. Her link's down below. Go check her out. And she tagged me in a video, so now I can do a tag because I was tagged. That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Question 1 is the best book you've read so far in 2016. Now, I've read a lot of good books this year so far. Like, it was hard to choose. But then as I was scrolling through, I got to this book and I was like, oh yeah, that was in 2016. That was in January. And it's like my favorite book ever right now, and it's by my favorite author of all time, so I have to choose it for this. And that is See How They Run by Ali Carter. This is the second book in the All Fall Down trilogy. The third book is going to come out this December. I am so excited that it's not even funny. This is my favorite book in the series so far. Chapter 8, like I still remember that chapter because, oh, that was a good chapter. The whole book was a good book though. Like, I read this in less than a day. I read this in like 4 hours, maybe 3. It's fantastic. And if you don't know, this series is about a girl who is kind of going crazy after she witnesses her mom's death, and her grandfather is actually an ambassador in a country called Adria, and during one summer she ends up going to live with him for the summer and reconnecting with the people who lived there, because she used to live there a lot when her mother was alive. And so going back and then trying to figure out what's going on. Amazing series. Anything by Ali Carter is amazing. So pumped for the last one. Like, it's so pumped, guys. So pumped. Question 2 is the best sequel you've read in 2016, and this one could apply to the one I just showed you, but since that was the best book, I decided not to, do that again. Instead, I have another one, and that is The Heart of Betrayal, the second book in the Remnant Chronicles series by Mary E. Pearson. This series is also freaking amazing. It is about a princess who is betrothed to be married to someone that she has never even seen before. And instead of marrying him, she's like, psh, I'm gonna run away. So she runs away. And she's actually really good at running away and takes them a while to try to find her. And then when people do find her, it's 2 people. A prince and an assassin. And you don't know who's who. The first book and the second book was equally as mind-blowing. It's so good, guys. This is one of those books where it had been a while since I've been in the world, and then once I started reading again, it was just, you felt so happy because you're back in this world, and it's not exactly a happy world, but you're happy to be back in the world because their characters are so cool, and the world is so cool. I mean, it's not exactly a happy-go-lucky kind of world, but it's really cool. Just a really great book. Again, can't wait for the next one. It's already out. I need to read it, though. I haven't read it yet. I'm on the waiting list for the library, so I'll read it as soon as I get that. But yes, love this series. Love it. Question 3 is new release you haven't read yet but want to, and I'm going to go ahead and go with the next book in the Remnant Chronicles for that, which is titled The Beauty of Darkness. It came out sometime at the beginning of August, I want to say. Was it like August 2nd or something that it came out? I don't remember exactly, but it came out fairly recently, and like I said, I need to get my hands on it. So excited. I'm going to read it as soon as I get it. Mark my words. Question 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And again, I keep repeating myself, but it's going to have to be Take the Key and Lock Her Up by Ali Carter, which is going to be the last book in the All Fall Down series by Ali Carter. Like I said, I love this series. I'm so pumped for it. Ali Carter's my favorite. I can't wait. Question 5 is biggest disappointment this year. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you probably already know which book I'm going to hold up, and that is Undertow by Michael Buckley. I just did not like this book, which, as I mentioned, is heartbreaking because it's beautiful and it's signed, and he even said he'd call me for research, which, Michael, you kind of need to because this girl is... Basically, this book is about a girl who lives in this kind of crummy neighborhood, and then along the beach they're like these, they're not mer people, but for the sake of simplicity I call them mer people, but they're like aquatic people, water people, whatever you want to call them. And then the society starts trying to integrate them into the schools and stuff, and all these uprisings start happening, and then secrets are discovered, and it's... yeah. My main problem with this book is the characters were so utterly horrible that I just could not stand it. I just could not. And again, I really wanted to like it. I spent like 18 bucks on this book. I really wanted to like it, but I didn't. Question 6 is biggest surprise so far this year, and I'm gonna go with 2 books for this one because I kind of read them back to back, and so I kind of just always clump them together as these 2 are amazing, just because I read them so close together. The first one is These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly, and the second one is Walk on Earth a Stranger by Ray Carson. Both of these books, I read them back to back. They're both historical fiction, and they were just kind of things that I picked up on a whim, you know, oh, I've heard about that a little bit. I'm going on a trip. Let's get it from the library and read it and let's see how I like it. And I loved it. Both of them. Loved them. These Shallow Graves is about a girl named Jo, and she really wants to be a reporter. But it's late 1800s America, and women aren't, you know, really supposed to be doing anything but, you know, getting hitched to the right guy. So that's kind of against the status quo. But then one day her father is found murdered in his study, and she ends up teaming up with a reporter named Eddie to solve the mystery of her father's murder. And it's phenomenal. Walk on Earth with Strangers about a girl named Leah, I believe is how it was said. But they called her Leah all the time, so I had to say Lee because it's easier, because I don't know if it's like Leah, whatever. But that's her name, but everyone calls her Lee. And it's set during the gold rush in America. And one day her parents are both killed. Yeah. And so she ends up going from her home in Georgia and traveling across, I was gonna say the world, but technically not the world, but across the continent, there we go, to California, disguised as a boy. It is such a good book. Both of these books were so amazing. And like I said, they're books that I just picked up randomly, and I fell in love with them. So those are probably my 2 biggest surprises, because I wasn't expecting to just be gushing over them like I am now. But here I am. Question 7 is favorite new author. And I would pick one of the 2 from the books I just told you about, but to try to switch things up a little bit, I'm going to pick someone new. And that is Marissa Meyer, the author of the Cinder Chronicles. This was another one that wasn't as much of a surprise because everybody was gushing about them. With the other books, they were like, some people were gushing about them, but they weren't as popular as the Lunar Chronicles. I mean, come on, nothing's quite as popular as the Lunar Chronicles. Except Harry Potter, of course. But her books are so good so far. I still need to read Winter. I'm kind of waiting because I don't want the series to finish. But that's the last book I have to read. Last book in the series, of course. Well, I have to read The Stars Above. I haven't read the short stories yet. But I love the series so far. It's amazing. The characters are hilarious. I love them. It's great. I'm gonna start reading like everything Marissa Meyer now. Mark my word. I say mark my word a lot. Question 8 is newest fictional crush, and Eddie. Did you hear I mention Eddie before from These Shallow Graves? Guys. Question 9 is newest favorite character, and this one's a bit harder, but I think, again, to kind of keep things new and interesting, I'm gonna have to go with Scorpius Malfoy from Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Guys, he's freaking adorable. He's so adorable. I love him so much. Question 10 is a book that made you cry. I don't cry. Well, I mean, I do cry, but I don't really cry in books, and the only book that has made me cry was Marley and Me. Let's check Goodreads. I'm gonna look through them and see if any of these have made me cry, but I would bet money that that's a no. Ooh, no. I mean, I guess one that could make you cry would be Wonder by R.J. Palacio, which was a really good book, by the way, and it's a really meaningful book, and it can be sad at points, so, I mean, it could make you cry, just didn't make me cry. That work? Question 11 is a book that made you happy. All of them. Let's see, a specific book. Ooh, Daddy Longlegs by Jean Webster. It's like a children's classic, and I'd heard about it when we were reading the Mother-Daughter Book Club, and it's one of the books that they read in that book, and I was like, that sounds really cool. Basically, it's about a girl who lives in an orphanage, but she's kind of too old to be in the orphanage, and then one day, one of the rich old guys, I don't know what they're called, but the people who like pay for the orphanage, is like, hey, I'm gonna pay to send her to college, and she's like, yeah, and he's like, you just gotta send me letters all the time, just to, you know, keep me updated on your school. She's like, okay, but instead of just like being, yeah, I got an A in math, yeah, I got a B in writing. She's like, I'm gonna tell you my life story and experiences while I'm here at this college. And that's what she does. And so the whole book is told, except for like the first chapter where it kind of sets up how it got to be here, is told in her letters to this mysterious person who she doesn't know, and she ends up calling Daddy Longlegs. That's a nickname for him. It's a really, really good book. She's a very sarcastic character, very, very outgoing, very much speaks her mind, even in like the end of letters and stuff. It was a great book, and it was one of those that you just smile when you read. So that one made me happy. Number 12 is most beautiful book you've bought this year or received. And I'm just going to leave the link to my book haul that I just posted down below, and you can see all the beautiful books that I got for my birthday, because there's a lot. So just to give you a taste of some of the beautiful books I've gotten this year, I got this edition of Winnie the Pooh and this edition of Frankenstein. These are from an older book haul. I'll leave that link down below if you want to go see that too. But the ones in my most recent book haul are even prettier than these, if you can imagine that. I got too many pretty books to pick just one, guys. Question 13 is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I don't know. As y'all know, I don't really set a TBR, so I just kind of read whatever. I mean, I'll probably try to read winter before the year is over, but I'm not going to make myself read it. I don't know. Question number 14, the final question, by the way, is your favorite book community member, whether it's on BookTube, Bookstagram, a book blog, whatever. Oh no, I'm bad at choosing favorites. I think I'm gonna go with Naya from Naya Reads and Smiles. She's just so bubbly and her videos are so much fun to watch. So she's definitely way up at the top of my favorites. Y'all know I'm bad at choosing like favorites, but I think like right now, she's my favorite. So go check her out. I'll link her down below. So that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Comment down below, let me know how your reading year is going. As y'all know, I've had kind of a slow reading summer, so I'm not as far ahead of my goal as I usually am around this time of year, but I'm still probably going to make my goal. My goal is 50 books. I just like to set 50 books per year, and then if I get over it, yay. If I don't, what's wrong with you, Hannah? That's kind of how I work. I don't know how many books I've gotten yet. Let's see. I have read 35 out of 50 books, so I kind of need to step it up a little, don't I? But yeah, comment down below and let me know how your reading's going. That sort of thing. Think of something to discuss, because I obviously can't. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all again in another one soon.